Well, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome. If you're able, would you please stand for the arrival of our official guests? Mr. Bart Mellish, MP, Member for Aspley, representing the Premier of Queensland and Minister for Trade, the Honourable Anastasia Palaszczuk, MP. Mr. Dan Purdy, MP, Member for Ninderry, Shadow Assistant Minister for Treasury, representing the Leader of the Opposition and Shadow Minister for Trade, Mrs. Deb Flecklington, MP. And Dr. Mick Davis, AM, ASM, representing Associate Professor John Harden, AM, Chairman, the Order of Australia Association, Queensland Division. Please join with me in welcoming our official guests. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Please be seated. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Again, if you're able, would you please stand for the arrival of the Governor of Queensland and Mrs. De Jersey. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Please be seated. Your Excellency, with your permission, I'll begin. His Excellency the Governor will present the following Australian honours and awards. Appointed an Officer of the Order of Australia in the General Division, Mr. Carl Douglas Morris. For distinguished service to the financial and stockbroking sectors and to the community through organisations including the Griffith University Foundation Board, Gallipoli Medical Fund and Brave Hearts. Appointed a Member of the Order of Australia in the General Division, Captain Jan Marie Becker. For service to community health through neonatal organisations, including Midwife Vision, and to aviation as co-founder and Chief Executive Officer of Becker Helicopters. Mr. Anthony John Hawkins. For significant service to public administration, particularly in the area of workers' compensation insurance, through senior roles with Work Cover Queensland, Lexon Insurance and Q Super. Dr. Carmel Judith Hilliard. For significant service to science, particularly in the area of medical biotechnology research and to the community, with organisations including the Academy of Technological Sciences and Engineering and Women in Technology. Mr. Kenneth Allen Martin. For significant service to community safety through anti-crime initiatives with Crime Stoppers Queensland, the Queensland Retired Police Association and the Queensland Police Service. Mr. John Stewart Menzies. For significant service to the tourism industry in Queensland through senior roles with the Village Roadshow Theme Park Group, Australian Outback Spectacular, Movie World and SeaWorld. Mr. Robert David O'Keefe, for significant service to tourism and business in Queensland as the inaugural General Manager of the Brisbane Convention and Exhibition Centre and Founding Director of Business Southbank. Awarded the Medal of the Order of Australia in the General Division, Mrs. Galila Abdul Salam, for service to the Islamic community through organisations including the Islamic Women's Association of Australia, Access Community Services Limited, and the Immigrant Women's Emergency Support Service. Mr. Barry John Bull, for service to the performing arts, particularly through music, as Director of the Gift of Sound, owner of Toombul Music, and co-founder of the Music Industry Association of Queensland. Mr. Ron Morton Chapman, for service to the tourism industry in Queensland through leadership roles with Caravan in Queensland, the Caravan Industry Association of Australia, and the Queensland Tourism Industry Council. Mr. Brian James Daly, for service to the community through a range of organisations including the Queensland Ambulance Service, the Return and Services League of Australia, the Australian Army Reserve Association, and St Vincent de Paul Society. Mr. Michael Jeffrey Evans, for service to the community through senior roles with Queensland Performing Arts, Rotary Australia, the Australian Cruise Port International, and Food Bank Queensland. Dr. Deanne Margaret Gibbon, CSC, for service to women in the Australian Defence Force as Gender and Diversity Consultant and Head of the Sexual Misconduct Prevention and Response Office. Dr. Frank William Grigg, for service to engineering as Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer of Frank Gregan Associates Proprietary Limited, and through leadership roles with Court Consultancy and the Institution of Engineers Australia. Mr. Lance Bartley Johnson, for service to public administration in the Northern Territory as Darwin Office Manager of the Department of Veteran Affairs and President of Palmerston Scouts. Mr. Paul Gregory Laxon, for service to the business sector and to the community through senior roles with Ernst & Young Oceania and Queensland, and Hear and Say, and as a supporter of Brisbane Powerhouse Arts. Mr. Anthony John McDermott, for service to Rugby Union as the convener of the History of Rugby Union Football in Queensland Research Project, and through senior roles with Brothers Rugby Club. Mr. Dennis James O'Connell, for service to the community of the Gold Coast through roles with the Gold Coast City Council and the Queensland Seafood Industry Association, and as a founding trustee of the Gold Coast and Hinterland Historical Society. Mr. Mervyn Richens, for service to the community through a range of organisations, including the Rotary Clubs of Logan Home and Mullumbimby and the Kingston East Neighbourhood Group. Ms. Myrna Wakeling, for service to the community through roles with St Hugh's Anglican Parish, the Lung Foundation Australia, and the Talk Lung Care Patient Support Group. Your Excellency, that concludes this afternoon's awards. Could I now invite you to address the recipients and their guests?
Ladies and gentlemen, girls and boys, I welcome you to the Investiture room of Government House as we honour the recipients of today's awards. Kay and I are delighted to have your company today. I begin by acknowledging the traditional custodians of these lands, the Turrbal and Yagara peoples, and pay my respect to their elders past and present, with an expression of encouragement to their young emerging leaders. The Australian Honours and Awards system is the preeminent way our country seeks to recognise outstanding accomplishment and service. So to be acknowledged in this way certainly reflects an exceptional personal achievement. Yet it has been said it takes a village to raise a child. To that end, I would like to suggest that it has taken a village, or at least a very strong support team, to help this group of awardees to reach today's milestones. So I would like especially to acknowledge the family and friends who are with us today. Each of you is here because you have played a vital role in supporting and encouraging today's award winners. I have no doubt they would like me to take this opportunity to thank you all. Australia's distinctive honours system was introduced in 1975 with the creation of the Order of Australia to recognise service to the nation and humanity. Recipients of Australian honours and awards are recognised for the remarkable contribution they have made to the betterment of our society. This is a truly egalitarian award system which helps to consolidate what it means to be an outstanding Australian. Determined, curious, fair, hard-working, outward-looking. Today's recipients possess all those qualities and more. Nelson Mandela once said that our human compassion binds us the one to the other. Perhaps above all else, it is that sense of compassion, so vital to our social well-being, which motivates the men and women whose remarkable achievements we are honouring today. If today's recipients demonstrate anything, though, it is that you can make a compelling difference in a wide variety of ways. Because here we are, honouring a group of Australians whose contributions are as diverse as they are altruistic. Today we celebrate individuals from the sciences, the arts and aviation, from the fields of medicine, engineering, multiculturalism, tourism and finance. We honour women who have changed perceptions and challenged the status quo. We reward those who have made a genuine difference, whether in the halls of government, on the sporting field or to their community. And we offer our thanks to those among us who give, not for victory or reward, but because of their innate commitment to the welfare of others, to the ideals of inclusivity and belonging. Now, these awards aren't given out lightly. The staff of the Australian Honours and Awards Secretariat in Canberra researched thousands of nominations before decisions are made. So I encourage you, ladies and gentlemen, to be immensely proud of receiving this award today, because in truth, it does more than honour your own achievements. It also demonstrates to others that resilience, fortitude, tolerance and care for our fellow Australians are things we should all value and celebrate. I urge you to wear the symbols of your achievements with pride in order that we are reminded of this. As Governor, with the honour of representing the great people of this state, I conclude quite simply by extending our gratitude for the contribution you have all made to our community and to our country. Kay and I invite you now shortly to enjoy the hospitality of Government House and wish you an afternoon we trust you will cherish for many years to come. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Excellency. Again, ladies and gentlemen, if you're able, would you please stand for the Vice-Regal salute. Thank you, Your Excellency. Could I invite you and Mrs. De Jersey to retire momentarily while we organise recipients for a photo? Thank you. Acting Inspector Stewart, would you escort our official guests out, please? If you'd like to follow the Acting Inspector.